Welcome.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to everyone. What's 100%? I'm Shalonda.
And I'm Jaleesa. And we're always going to give you the real tea behind the salon industry. And we always got our good and faithful
Mike B. How are you?
So I know for those of you who are on YouTube, you can see this wonderful person that we have here. So the time has come, y'all.
Yep.
We were not joking when we said we were going to get a therapist on this episode. Everyone welcome Helodia.
Give me some claps.
So Helodia, please give the listeners as well as the people watching, let them know who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so my name is Helodia Dastine, and I am a psychotherapist, psychoanalyst, and I own a group practice that's located here in New York and New Jersey. And our focus is based on decolonizing mental health and providing psychotherapy for all adults, couples, and teens. And I also teach at Columbia University and Yeshiva and teach decolonizing social work because it needs to be decolonized.
I know that's right.
That's what I do.
Yay!
Yes.
Okay.
So when you say decolonize, what does that really mean?
Oh, it's nuanced.
Yeah, because I hear the word, but like for the people who don't really know what that means.
Yeah, so it is pretty nuanced.
Yeah.
And everyone has different flavors.
Yes.
So the flavor
I like that flavors.
Yeah, the flavor that I've embodied is incorporating the herbs because in a westernized Euro-American centered paradigm, they're really focused on like the Xanaxes and the Ambiens, right? And it's just like, well, you could good ashwagandha,
Right.
valerian root, ayahuasca, shroom,
That is
those
on my list.
cannabis,
Take your pens out, guys.
Right.
We're taking you to school. Go ahead and write that down.
Yes.
These things can help with like the mental health process. And then it's also when it's taught and how it's taught. When it's taught from a very heterosexual, white patriarchal perspective. And that don't really go with our community, right?
It does not.
Yeah. And a lot of it, there's in the teaching, there's like segregation in it, there's power dominance in it. And I want to do away with that because we ain't doing no power dominance in our
It's
therapy.
giving Harriet Tubman for mental health.
Not that, but it's also giving.
It is the trailblazing for mental health.
Yeah. Oh, the trail.
Yes.
Trailblazing and holistic.
Yes, 1000%. Because this is the first, well, not the first time, but it's still very new that I'm hearing that people are pivoting from, big pharma and going the natural way. I mean, growing up Caribbean, that was all I knew. All I knew is leaves and plants in order to help my body be better. So now that I know that it can be incorporated with mental health, like that's a unlocked new level.
Do you think that did that come from your background?
It did.
Yeah,
It definitely did. Yeah. So grew up with the Herbs Caribbean, having folks come and after they come from Haiti and they have a whole suitcase of herbs, and they're just like, drink this.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm just like, oh wow. At first when I was younger, I was just like, oh my God, you guys think you're doctors. You don't know what you're doing.
Yes.
Because I didn't know. And now that I'm older, it was just like, oh wait.
But y'all was doctors.
They were doctors, So like I have a sister-in-law, she had colon cancer. They healed her with herbs.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
That's dope.
Powerful.
That's
just
dope.
the believing part for me, because we're so programmed to know that medicine is the way to go. If someone shoved the leaf in my face, I'm like,
Get that
no,
out.
I don't know if this is really gonna work. This is my life we're talking about here.
Wait, sidebar. So you've never had Sene before?
I did.
Right.
It wasn't like the natural one though. I feel like I had it from the pharmacy.
Oh no, I had
the ones that they boil in the pot?
Yeah, the leaf.
Okay, so I've had that, but I've also had the other one before.
That don't make you believe that it's doing what it say it's supposed to do?
Well, listen, my stomach's set up a little different. So I don't know if the belief came from there, but it's interesting because you did mention cannabis too, and that has been stigmatized growing up. So now that you have to now get the people to believe that it can work for you when it's been so much highlighted as being a negative. How does that work?
Well, for me, I believe it deepens the therapeutic process, but it also sets.
It does.
It depends on how you set your intention. Some people, when they engage with cannabis, they're just like, all right, cool, I want to go to sleep,
right?
Or I just want to have fun, or you can set the intentions and say like, I want to tap into a higher consciousness. And I feel like when that intention is set, and then you're doing therapy at the same time, and you're really kind of processing in a much more deeper level, it can get you at a different space or different thought process.
Helodia, I just see the egg frying in the pan.
Well, no. We also want to
your
process.
brain on
I mean, if
drugs.
someone is, but if someone is using it where they're just carelessly using it,
Yes.
we want to talk about that.
Yes.
Right.
The goal is like you're using it being
With the intent.
intentional,
Got it.
and not just like,
And that's something
out
that's
of
never
habit.
been taught. Like
Yeah.
being intentional about what you're using this for. Like,
Because it was a lot of, growing up, it was a lot of leisure.
yeah.
People did it because it made them feel good. And, but when you set intentions behind it, I'm sure there's a lot of things you can discover, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Mhm.
Yes, I do. I really do. So how has the journey been?
Oh, it's been amazing. Well, what part?
Well, the journey in this mental health and then incorporating the decolon. Yeah.
It's been amazing.
It has? Okay.
Yeah, I love it. And I love that I had the download and I said, okay, this is what we're going to do.
Mhm.
Because then it's the folks that come, it's like, okay, we really get to build a deeper relationship than how it would look like if this was more from the colonized perspective. Because like I said, sometimes that rapport comes from like this dominant power, segregated
people that don't look like
relationship.
us.
Yeah, no, we ain't gonna do that.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, like the other day, I hosted a hike. Therapists aren't doing that,
Oh,
so it's
yeah.
like,
They're not.
Oh, you
so
did
it's
a
like
hike.
bringing the community together.
Together.
Yeah.
And I think because mental health is so big now, it's been for a few years. How is it building a team of people to work for you?
So interestingly enough, it is nuanced.
Okay.
I want to say it's easy to, if I want to get, so with social workers, I'm a social worker.
Yes.
There's an LMSW and LCSW. The LCSW is like the highest certification licensure that you can get. That's a bit harder to get because once you're an LCSW, folks want to do their own thing,
Yeah.
The LMSWs, it's easy to get LMSWs, but I'm also particular as to who I want on my team,
know.
because I'm everyone wants 100.
Yes.
And I want quality,
Yes.
We're not trying to do no fugazi.
Right.
Therapy, so
Okay.
Was it very hard for you to curate your team?
Trial and errors, right? I know.
Honestly, quite frankly, it really hasn't. I had hiccups in the very beginning, when one person, I was just like, this ain't gonna work.
Right.
But for me, it's like my alignment is on path.
Yes.
And so then the folks who really believe in this journey have we fall into each other's path, and it has worked.
Yes.
And so thankfully.
Cool.
So I feel like because you set the intention, but the purpose of having you on the show, for those of you who may or may not know, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And we talk so much about therapy on this episode and being healed, healing and unhealed. And we just knew that we had to have a real therapist on the show.
Yes.
We're going to give you the real behind the salon industry, as well as just the real behind women, men, and the association with hair. So we're going to move into our first segment, which is Salon Etiquette 101. So what does salon etiquette mean to you?
Professionalism.
Ooh. Everyone's answers is so different.
Yes.
Like every time, everyone's answers are just always so different. We're always like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I love that we open it that way because it's always different.
Right.
Yeah.
Professionalism, though, means what?
Yeah,
Exactly.
professionalism. I would say we don't want the hey honey texts.
Yes.
Not the hey boo.
Not the
Hey boo.
but in my mind, when I think of professionalism, I think of quality as well. It's like if you're going to a Louis Vuitton store, you know that you're getting quality, right? And so I think in the professionalism, it's like, okay, if you're going to do this work, then make sure that you're doing it right,
Yes.
and you're doing with the intent. Make sure you're doing it with the training. And I feel
Right.
like that comes with the professionalism. And then the customer service. It's like, how are you engaging with your customers, your clientele? Because those are the people who are making you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, they're important.
Yeah. And how you talk to your team in front of your clients.
Oh.
That's a new one.
I like that one.
That's a new one.
About other clients when they leave.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
well, I
Yes,
know when
that.
I was starting and I had because I always talk about my hairstylist that I worked for. She was terrible when it came to how she would roll her eyes at me and roll her eyes. Like if I did something
She
that
probably could see the
wasn't
back of
right,
her brain.
she would roll, and the
She was a
clients would
supervisor,
see.
or
She
she-
was the
she was
actual
owner.
of
Oh
the
my
salon.
Mhm.
But like she was so much like it was like so militant in there, and I understand it. But her delivery and how she was training me, I now realize that was definitely
Unhealthy.
Unhealthy
Because we feel it. We see it.
I seen her roll. I just knew I didn't want her to roll her eyes in that mirror for everybody to see. But
Mhm.
We always
did
saw it.
And it made me feel uncomfortable, and of course that messes with your confidence.
It does.
Yeah,
and confidence, I feel like, is a big thing you have to be if you are a hairstylist.
Woo.
You have to
Say that again.
exude confidence, because when you exude that confidence and the client trusts you, they like, she know what she doing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, confidence is something that if you don't have naturally, I don't know. I struggled with that in the hairstyling industry, because I remember it was a time I knew I was good.
I'm shocked. No, I'm shocked.
No, I knew I was good.
I'm genuinely
genuine
shocked.
shock?
Yeah,
Okay.
But I never wanted to make a mistake in front of the client.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when you're learning, I remember I used to always face the chair for the client away from the mirror.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's definitely not. And I see people do that to this day, and I always have to correct, like, you have to have the client. They have to see what you're doing.
Mhm.
But at that point, it was a confidence issue. And when I have people come into the salon and I train them, I do realize that a lot of what I'm teaching is confidence.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, wow, like
We had a
just
moment.
Not being a podcast for real.
I'm like, along with all of the technical things, I have to then instill in them, like, you have to be confident in what you're doing, because the client can feel that.
Yeah.
That was a lot, friend.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
No, this is a lot. But that's why we have a whole show
That
to
is
discuss
very.
all the things.
That's
So
true.
it is a lot.
That's
so
true.
as far as building confidence, Helodia, what do you think? How can that impact you as a stylist or a business owner? What are some of the things that they can do, or how can we get there in that way, in your own time, not feeling overwhelmed either?
Mhm. Well, I think if you lack the confidence, then your business won't thrive. It'll show.
It will
in the
show.
business. Yeah, it will show,
Ooh.
because then you're not going to take the risk. First of all, you might not even think or take the step to have a business if you don't have that
The
level of
confidence.
confidence. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's not what's happening, because they are coming out, they're doing the work, but the confidence shows. And I think that's where some of the miscommunication comes from, or the
Mhm.
back and forth comes from.
I don't know. I beg to differ, because I feel like, and I hear this a lot with the younger crowd, that they're more comfortable in front of a camera.
Okay.
So that's why, like, when they come out with these dope videos or these great edits, it's because they're comfortable talking to a camera.
Mm.
But then when they're in person with someone, it's like,
It's different.
this is a real person. Like, they're talking back to me. Like, I have to respond. So I feel like it's more of a confidence when it comes to just them being confident in themselves,
Mhm.
being comfortable talking to people. Because that's a big thing that I hear all the time. I know you said, or was that the previous episode, where like conversations need to be had. Do you feel like you have to have a conversation while you get your hair done?
I mean, I think it depends on who's doing it. If I already have a
Mhm.
relationship with the person, then yeah, we're chatting away.
Yeah.
Right.
If it's a new person, then small talk here and there.
Mhm.
That's okay for you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but I mean, I want to have some type of a rapport with the person doing my hair. That's your energy, like
Yes.
so we really gonna be silent here?
Yeah.
Awkward.
Yes.
It's very awkward, and sometimes it makes you feel old, because a lot of the younger people are like, well, I don't need to talk to anyone. What?
I mean,
Yeah.
I told you guys before.
But
I'm
you said
guilty
it
of
too.
that. Yeah, I don't need to talk to you while you doing my
That's
hair.
kinda-
That's so crazy, because you be chatting away every time you get your hair done.
Because I mean, who does my hair? But like, I don't feel like it's necessary for me. Like, if you're not gonna say nothing, I'm gonna put my headphones in and we good. As long as I like the end result, I'm okay with it.
Nah,
well, that's
wild.
all about reading energy
Yeah.
too.
Mhm.
Reading the vibe. If you
If you chat with me, I will respond.
Yes.
I'm not gonna be like, oh my god,
Yes.
I would respond. But if you don't, I'm also okay with that.
okay.
Interesting. But just going
It
back to
depends on
confidence,
personality.
how do you think that should be exuded if you are a stylist?
The confidence.
Yeah.
Well, I think you should do the training so that you have the skills.
Right.
Like,
Right.
you know,
they
I
got that already. They already
like-
saying it. Like, we come out of beauty school, we already know what we doing, but you don't. However,
asking for help. How about that? There's
Asking for
confidence in
help.
asking for help, because
Wow, that's hard sometimes.
yeah, I mean, like I know my cousin, she does hair, you do
Yes.
hair, and like y'all, I don't know your training
Yes.
background, but I would imagine that y'all had training under someone else,
Mhm.
asking that help until you went on your
On
way.
your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're coming off the gate out of school, getting your own salon, Lord Jesus help us all.
Yes.
but
Lord,
Helodia, that is what's happening.
yeah, it is.
That is who are in these salon suites.
Yes.
They have just come out of beauty school, fresh out the gate, and they're like, I'm gonna open my own suite.
Because they want the money.
Yes.
They want the money. They want the look.
Yes.
You know, and it's
Yes.
just like, cool, you can have the look, but the skills, that quality has to come with it, and then you could have the look.
Yes.
Right.
Right?
It's steps. It's levels to
there's
this.
levels to it.
It's levels
Right.
to this.
Right.
It's the same
skipping the
thing with
level.
therapists. It's just like
all
some
the
people
levels.
come out the gate, you know, school, and they're just like, okay, I'm gonna have my private practice. It's just like, okay, that's great. I'm not gonna stop your
Yes.
show, but
Mhm.
what we're not gonna do is do harm, you know. And if you don't know what you're doing,
Mm.
you're gonna cause harm.
Yes,
Right.
and that's what's happening now in the
Yeah.
industry. There's a lot of harm. There's a lot of back and forth between the clients and the stylist. And it's kind of watering down the industry, I would say, because I know when I did this, it was something that people looked at as not being a career.
No.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, hair. You want to do hair?
Yeah.
What is that? And I'm like, well,
Not knowing that she had the secret sauce all this time.
Yeah,
Because had I known,
but I knew.
I would have been in there.
Everybody else, I mean, the world didn't know that
Yeah.
was this.
It was like a secret society.
Yeah.
All we asked is trust.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
So now that we're here and everyone feels like, you know, because of the social media and everyone thinks that it's so easy to do, what are some of the things that we talk about therapy all the time because
Yes.
we feel like when they're communicating with their clients, they're not speaking to them properly.
Mm-hmm.
And you said communication is one of the things. that
Customer
you-
service was another one.
Yeah, so like we talked about the healed stylist versus
Yes.
the
Unhealed stylist.
And so
Mhm.
it's
Like
like
healing.
in the,
And I'm in the healing.
But we always want to be healing.
yes,
Always.
I don't think
Yeah.
where do you get to that healed?
I
point?
think healed is ego now.
that's ego.
Ah.
That's ego.
Ah.
Really?
Yeah, because we always enter different stages and seasons in our life.
Mhm.
So there's always
Right.
something to learn from, something to grow. So it's healing. I think
So
healed
no
is
one
like,
is
all
ever
right.
healed.
Yeah, that's ego now. Like, I'm healed, so you know it all.
So,
I
guys,
love
I
that.
never want to be healed.
Right.
I always want, friend, I
Or-
always want to be
But
healed.
that makes sense.
Or,
to
or
me.
self-knowledge.
We know.
Think about it of just like greater knowledge of self.
We
always
know.
Learning.
Yeah, I love
We
that.
know that is this one.
Yeah,
She
no,
always wants
I
to
thought-
learn.
Yeah, no, I always want to learn, but I also knew that being a healed person didn't seem like it was real.
Yeah.
Because how can you be healed? How do you know that you're healed? Because there's
When you don't have
nothing-
anxiety. When
I'm
you
not
don't have
gonna lie.
anxiety.
That's my ick on social media. Like, I'm healed. It's like, child, it's an ongoing
Journey.
thing.
Lifelong
It's an
thing.
ongoing journey.
Okay, I
Because
love that.
we want to be students. We always want to learn.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like you're saying, I'm the expert in all. Then
You sound like Shawanda.
truly, it's like, oh, so you know everything, so you can. There's nothing else to learn.
Nothing else to improve
I mean,
on.
yes, there is
Yeah.
always something to learn.
I'm just saying.
Okay, well, I feel that. And we're gonna just doobie that up and go on to our second
Wrap it up.
segment, Tangled Tales, where we are detangling the mess. We'll be reading and sharing some of the craziest reviews, personal social media stories, and giving out feedback. So this clip is from Poor Minds podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And she
Shout
was,
out to them
yeah, shout outs to Poor Minds.
for using their platform and exposing something that everyone goes through.
Yeah, so there was a host stating that stylists don't speak enough about how they get mentally abused.
Mhm.
She said people don't care if stylists get breaks, if they eat, if they have a personal life. All they care about is their hair.
Mhm.
She went on to tell a story about a time a client got her hair done and she loved it and came back for a retouch and started complaining in front of the whole salon about how horrible of a job she did in the beginning.
Mhm.
So we reposted this on our story the other
But
day.
we gonna post it as a reel so y'all can see what it is.
The client under it said, "Oh, I want to know what your take is on mental abuse."
Right. And that
Huge.
right there. That you know what? Because we talked about this in the last episode. Let me not choose violence.
Yeah, so I was confused because I'm like, mental abuse is mental abuse, right?
Is it not?
It is. If
Because
you're
we got the
feeling
therapist
abused-
right here.
If you're
Which
feeling
camera am I
abused-
looking at? We got the therapist right here.
If you're feeling abused, it's abuse.
Oh.
You can't tell me what my abuse is.
Hello.
Okay?
Say it again for the people in the back.
You
what?
can't tell me what my abuse is.
Like, what are you talking about,
Yeah,
lady?
I think Jaleesa made a comment and she was like, "Yes, thank you for talking about this." And the person responded like, "Well, I think you're using the term mental
Abuse wrong.
incorrectly,
Yeah.
and that
Um,
this isn't really mental abuse." And
But it is.
you know,
but it is.
Yeah, because I actually went to Google on it because I was like, wait a minute.
I know you did.
Maybe it's something I missed.
Let me get the facts.
And one of them said confusion. Like if someone is leading you and saying something, but then saying something else, the state of confusion is part of mental abuse.
So yeah.
But even outside of that, it's if you're berating someone or having a whole conversation about what you don't like in front of other people, then that's leaving someone else, you know,
To
feel
feel.
shame or embarrassed or anything. That's
Yeah,
mental abuse.
and
Right.
the clients don't have a problem doing that.
They
Yeah, I
do
like that.
not. So, yes, they do not. So, what is your take on that, Helodia?
Yeah, one thing about y'all industry that it's such a slave mentality. The way that y'all don't have breaks, it kills me. And I'm saying that because I have a cousin who's a
Yes.
hairstylist.
Yes. So but I do when it came to the not eating part.
Oh
Yes,
my
that is a slave mentality.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Because I definitely went hours, and I still am trained in that way, not to take a lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't understand it for a very long time when I started hiring, and they started complaining they weren't eating. I said, "What you mean you ain't eating?"
Do you know, back in my day, I never ate. And I'm looking at you like, bitch, that's you. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. And I want back in the day.
Food, what is that?
And not even cosmetology world. I'm talking about I worked in retail.
Mhm.
If there was an iPhone launch,
Mhm.
I was not eating.
Yeah.
From 6 a.m. till about 9 p.m.
Mhm.
And I was only surviving off of energy bars.
Yes.
Because I wanted the money. I wanted the mayan.
Mhm.
That's what I needed.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that slave mentality goes with money.
Mm.
Because if you're continuously working and you're allocating for every second of every minute in the day that you are making money,
Yeah.
you're not thinking about the well-being of yourself.
Mm-mm.
No water. What's that?
I need it. Give me an essentially now.
I had a receptionist who would literally bring me water every day. Like she would, you want some water?
That's so
Here's your water.
nice.
She wouldn't even ask. She would just bring me the water. It would sit there.
Note to self. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
not me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
And it's like, I'm not even thinking about myself in this moment. And a lot of times I always have to go back because I was in therapy. So I think about the people pleasing aspect of it and how, being so much about that person in my chair and forgetting all about me. Pee breaks? What's that? That's terrible.
Well, the comments were not on your side.
They weren't?
No, the comments on the original post, and just so you know, also Helodia, they were saying it was overwhelmingly against the
Oh
stylist.
my God.
Saying
Always.
that you guys are
Always.
not mentally abused. They said new age stylists are coming with too much baggage. That it is the stylist's job to schedule a lunch. One person
I
said
agree
that
with
they
that.
don't care about anything but their appointment that they're there for.
Mhm.
I went through those comments, child. And someone else said that the clients are not your friends. They don't care. It was a lot of we don't care.
Yeah, and here's my
it's a
thing.
business. Why?
Mike B, I agree with it. Because here's my thought process.
And one said that the stylists need professionalism and boundaries.
Right.
That's a personal problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Because here I am saying to myself, I am an independent business owner. So I have full control of my schedule.
Mhm.
Why are you not allocating time for you to eat?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well,
that should
things happen. Clients are late. You run behind. There's add-ons.
Add-ons are not options, are they not?
They're options, but sometimes when you're in it, when a client actually comes in the door, sometimes we have to.
We're going to agree to disagree on this, friend, because I just think it's your mental state. If we're being completely transparent, I think it's the way that you were conditioned to think. Because if an add-on comes in and somebody says, I want to get a sew-in, but I also want to wash my hair, you know that at 12:30 you have to take a break. Are you not going to say, actually, I'm not going to be able to accommodate that?
No.
Of course, because you want the money.
No. I'm not. It's not the money because it's never been about the money.
So not for you, but
For
the
me.
others want the money. So for you, it's about the
always
people
about
pleasing.
them.
Right.
Yeah, it's all about what they need and what I can do for
But
them.
to what cost?
I was going to ask Helodia, at what point does that become detrimental?
Yeah.
Right? You are in a service industry and you are there to serve your client
I don't
to
know.
a certain extent. Well, we got
I don't
somebody
know.
who can tell you. But at what point does that become you're crossing the line between giving good service and
People pleasing.
killing
Or
yourself?
communicating and saying okay, cool, I'm gonna have to do this, but I'm gonna take a break so I can eat and I'm gonna come back to you. So you might be here a little longer. Something like that. I mean, because now you're adding on something that wasn't scheduled.
Yes.
They don't care.
Clients don't care.
Well,
They don't care. They don't care about that because they're
Yes.
gonna talk. They're gonna go.
I know, but I have an appointment. I can't
Yeah.
be here.
But even if it's not the client that's asking for it, and me as the professional knowing that what I'm seeing, I know the client needs. How does that, my integrity now is on the line because now I know you need this trim, but I'm going to skip it because I got to go eat. Get it? Right. Silence?
Oh no, that's time management.
Right.
That's time
I don't
management.
know your schedule, but I'd imagine that's time management.
That's time management. No, that is literally time management.
It
If you know what the person needs,
Yes.
and you know,
No, I don't know. They're walking in, they're a first-time client.
yes,
They have all the things that they thought they needed booked
Mhm.
and scheduled out.
Mhm.
But I, as the professional now, see in my face that they need something different.
Mhm.
That's going to take me a little longer.
Mhm.
I am then I'm going to say, hey, all right, you do need to do this instead.
I get that, but is that happening with every client?
No, it's not. And then when it does happen,
doesn't
are
happen
you
with every-
communicating with them?
No, yes, definitely. Now, all of that, I'm devil's advocate right now because
Yeah.
I'm speaking from what I used
Because I'm about to say, don't
how I
let
used-
me sit here and be
how I used to operate and how a lot of
Cinderella.
stylists are operating now.
This Cinderella over here, she make it happen Bing, all the time. And then I'm like, sis, now you tired.
Yeah, no.
Now the sciatica's acting up.
So it's, and you know what? It was acting up
You
earlier
see?
on the train.
You see?
I was going to say that. I was like, I got
Aging yourself again.
Right. Boundaries.
But,
We got to be bully boundaries.
I had a client who I had for a long time. She was maybe a client over 3-4 years. And I remember I had a conversation, I think with the both of you guys, about how I never take sick days. A sick day?
I'm
What is
calling
a
out.
sick day in the salon?
I'm calling out. I
How
don't
can
care.
you call out on 6 people that are depending on you to make them look good? How?
Hi, how you doing? I'm not feeling well today. Can we
Thank you.
reschedule?
This is why I be scared to
I
call my
am so
boss
sorry.
now.
I am so sorry, but I am sick. Can't come in.
OMG.
I know
felt-
people are gonna have heart attacks, but what are you gonna do? You can't serve the whole world.
So fast forward, like I am sick this day. I had food poisoning and it was during the pandemic, not pandemic, but after COVID was still much life alive.
Mhm.
And I thought I had COVID. So I
Mhm.
ran out of the salon. I went and got a quick test and it
Which she wasn't going to.
I wasn't. I was coached the whole way
The
through.
whole
Because I'm like, it's
way.
her birthday. She needs me. And then Jaleesa's like, what? Like, you need to go home. And I was like, no, she needs me. So I ended up telling her as she's in the salon getting her hair done. I'm in the car like, I can't come back inside. And I set up a whole appointment with a braider for her, gave her a second options, made it work for her. I did not see that girl come back to me in 2 years.
Mhm.
She stopped coming completely. I felt terrible. Like, seriously.
Because
that-
it kind of reaffirmed what you thought.
it
was gonna
reaffirmed
happen.
what I thought. Like, I let her down. I dropped the ball. Yes, it's
But
my
that's not,
health.
that's not on you though. That's on the person. If you can't
Wait,
risk
right?
it.
Because I'm looking at
Wait,
Helodia and I'm
that's-
just like, I already know what the answer gonna be.
Yeah, that's on them. You know, like they're not being
You
understanding. It's like
cannot
you're human,
control.
so okay, you could be upset. Be upset, that's fine. But you have to understand, I'm sick. What you want me to do? Come and vomit on top of your head?
Yeah.
You know, and they're gonna, yeah. You know, it's just like, okay. I
That's
guess
when you-
this is gonna be a new hairstyle.
Yeah, that's how you know she's committed and she throw up on the head, right?
Right.
No,
But why does it have
terrible.
to come to that?
Yeah. it's
Why do I
terrible.
have to be healing over on you for you to have some kind of empathy for
For
me?
me.
Where is the humanity?
Yes.
We have
It's-
got to bring humanity back to the salon.
Yes, we do. And
We got to start thinking about people.
and stylists need to understand that they're
That
not
part.
superhuman.
Yeah.
You know? Yes, the money is good. Yes, we want to get the most, but we also have to pay attention to what our body is telling us.
Mhm.
And that's something I didn't do for a very long time. And that's why I have sciatica now, because I worked 9 months twice, all the way through. Like, seriously. And I don't
and had a
and
cane.
can't remember many clients bringing me any water or anything through the door, you know?
Oh Lord, here she go. Here
Yep.
she go, y'all.
Yep.
Here
Where
she
my
go.
water at? To all of you guys that seen me pregnant in the salon.
Mhm. That is
Where's
a
my
big
water?
thing.
You know, like we have to
Humanity.
be understanding to what is going on with, people.
Mhm.
So, Helodia, we're going to go ahead and stay out of the mess. And how we do that is we stand on business. So, in our Standing on Business segment, we're chatting about structure, systems, and the tools that you need to make successful in the salon industry. So, based on your experience and titles, what does standing on business mean to you? And how can the stylists and beauty professionals stand on business in their businesses without sacrificing their mental health?
Integrity. And I think integrity is on both ends. Integrity on the business side and integrity on your own values, So if it's, hey, I need to eat at 12 p.m., or maybe it might go back to 12:15, that's cool. But it's honoring who you are and what you need to do for yourself. But at the same time, you're still running your business how you say you want to run your business with quality. So again, that goes to training. That's going to asking for help so that you can provide the service to your clients the proper way. So I would say stand on business's integrity. You know, it's keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Right? Keeping it a buck.
Yeah.
Make sure that's a clip.
Yes.
Keeping it 100.
Yes. And so I guess that would be communicating too to the client, if you need to in that moment, what's happening with you and why you can't finish the hairstyle essentially, or why you need to eat. Like, even though that shouldn't be something that people have to explain, because we all need to be.
It has to be explained in the cosmetology industry.
Really?
It has to, because the conditioning of the way that people do hair, do nails, any service-based industry, no one is thinking about the person who's providing the service.
No.
You never think of them as a person. And it's not until I got into that industry that I started to think about the people who are providing the service.
So that always.
I was that person. Like, I'm paying you to do this. How are you now unavailable? I made this appointment 6 months ago. Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
But that's also me not being humane, not knowing that, okay, I'm going to have to figure this out.
Yeah, but why do you have to always go through something to then be able to understand?
I don't know, friend.
I'm asking Helodia.
Oh, okay. I thought you was asking yourself.
Well, it's unfortunate. That's human society, you know, and we have folks who are narcissistic, but we all have narcissistic traits.
Oh,
right?
really?
When we think of ourselves.
Yeah.
Self-absorbed. Like, it's a natural thing.
Okay.
And there's a natural, healthy level of narcissism that you do want to have. That's your confidence.
Yes.
But if you really listen to people talking, we are a bit self-absorbed, you know?
You're right.
It happens.
It's true.
You know, but we need to change it.
Yes.
Like, you could be self-absorbed, but still being mindful of the people around you.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, okay, this person is a human being that's doing my hair. Did you take a break? Did you eat? Did you have what? I do that to my nail artist. Like, did you take a break? Do you need to go take a break?
Yes.
Go ahead and eat. I'll wait.
Okay.
9 out of 10 times they're going to tell you no.
Right, I know.
They're going to, because again, you're conditioned. No, thank you. I'm good.
Yeah.
Because you are conditioned to be like, the show must go on.
Yes.
And it seems like most people don't care based on
it's
just based on
terrible.
I went through so many comments trying to see if there were like one or two that was like, yeah, for stylists, but it was like other stylists. It was like not many clients in the comments. They were just like, figure it out.
I think it's your industry that has conditioned clients
to think that way.
You know, and then the clients
That's what you said.
so then it perpetuates y'all to continue to this habit.
So
it starts with us.
cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think y'all need to have a movement.
So that's why that stylist got so much clout. And not clout, but she got so much backlash in regards to the story, because they were like, well, the same things that they're saying in the comments, like, she needs to have better time management. That's her problem, not my problem. Like, we get all of that. We hear you guys. But it's also just a situation where when is anybody going to step up?
Yeah. So like Helodia said, we need to create a community.
Got to perform a coup.
We have to perform a coup. So that way.
Coup d'etat.
Yes, we got to perform a coup, because we got to stay real and we got to stay together.
Yeah. So that's why
But there's so much conflict in the industry now. Like, how do you do that in a way that's not going to further damage the relationship between stylists and clients right now?
Customer service.
How do you like not eat? You know, you don't even have.
It's very easy.
I get it.
I can tell you how to not eat, because I did it just yesterday. I can tell you how it works. Like, you just get so engrossed in everything that you're doing that you're not taking a moment to think of, oh, I'm getting a headache. Oh, it's because I'm hungry. Let me put that to the back of my mind. Like,
right.
Like, it's
and then that means people are being fake when they're talking about we care for each other's mental health.
Yeah. Very much so.
So I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah,
that means you're fake.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That does mean you're fake. Like, and a lot of the times I say this all the time. When somebody is always on 10 and they're always give me all of this energy, I feel like, maybe you're just a little bit fake, because are you really real? Can you really be that kind of person 24/7?
Oh, that's a good point.
Can you? Because you tell me all the time.
Shape-shifting?
There you go.
Yeah.
Last episode, she was shape-shifting.
No, you was. But I can say,
You wanted to shape-shift into
Yeah. But I can say that putting your emotions
Different
and
hat.
feelings in the side and then showing up for someone in a way that you really don't feel is definitely not being true to yourself.
Not.
So now you are being fake.
You are.
And I do feel like to some point the industry is
It's very much fake. Yes.
actresses.
Yes.
Because we go through we are living life. So we are going through so many things. We have families, we have bills, we have kids and friends, and life happens, and we still have to show up and give the client what they need.
Welcome to life.
That's why when the pandemic happened, I always say it was a gift and a curse, because I was like, oh, I get to relax.
I was so happy.
Woo, let me put my feet up.
I'm not even going to hold you. I was so happy because I felt like this was a break.
A break.
I feel like the world needed a break.
Yes,
I feel like everybody just needed to sit down and don't touch nothing. Okay? Get in the store and don't look at nothing. Don't even breathe. Don't even breathe. Just sit down. Okay? That's what I feel like we needed, because I was so happy during the pandemic.
Yeah. I mean, aside from
yes, everything that was happening. Of course, guys. Like, yes, I'm an empath. I feel it.
Yes.
But aside from that, I was going on hikes. I don't even like nature.
Yeah. But showing up for someone, not having to show up for people, taking that mental break and load off of me really was something I needed, because I didn't realize how much and how much I was doing, how much I was pouring into my clients, how much I was just doing it all, show for my staff, for my team, and nothing was left for me.
So Helodia did that for a lot of people.
Yes.
I was going to ask, so at what point should people realize, like, I need a break?
Now.
Like...
Now,
what are the things that people can, the tell signs? What can they tell? Like, okay, I'm being a little bit too short and it's been a month. I need a vacation.
About to say is you don't really need signs, right? Because you just know.
Yeah, you don't want to get to a place where you have to see the signs. We want to be proactive and not reactive. Yeah. Because if you're seeing the signs, then that means you're being reactive. Right? Yes. So we want to institute these skills already, or just the livelihood where you don't get to that. You know what I mean? So it's like...
So pre-planning.
The time is now.
Right, so pre-planning then.
Pre-planning. Like, I know for me on my schedule, my pre-plan time is there.
Because she don't work on Fridays, y'all.
It ain't going to... I am not a therapist on Fridays.
She do not work on Fridays.
It's not going to change.
And she sets them boundaries all the way up. And if you forgot, she gonna let you know. And you can't feel no way, because you just have to respect it.
Yes.
And I think that's just what it is. The conversation needs to be had so that the clients can learn to respect you.
Yes.
Yeah. So for people that don't know, they are already feeling the signs. I know they need to do it now. But for people that don't know, so what you said, pre-planning, is there anything else?
So for the people who don't know the signs, I would say your physical health, right? So if you're getting headaches, or you're really tired, you're sleeping, you know that you're sleeping 7, 8 hours a day and you still feel lethargic, that's a problem. If you're constantly getting sick, that's a sign. Yeah.
Or if you're gaining weight.
If you're gaining weight or losing weight, right? That's a sign. Anxiety happens all the time, but if you're feeling anxious, if you're short with people and you're angry, these are different telltale signs to tell you, like, hey, something's going on.
Yeah.
You know, if you hate the world, that might be a sign.
Maybe time to take a little break.
Right, so at this point, you guys just read me for filth, because that's all my signs. That's all my signs. I hate everyone and everything.
No, that's not true.
I mean, I got one or two.
Yeah, that's me.
I don't think so. I think you do a pretty good job then shape-shifting and covering it up and being that actress.
Thank God for therapy.
Yeah.
Thank God for therapy.
Yes, I do feel like having a therapist in your life is definitely essential in all aspects of life. But it can highlight so many things for you being a business owner, because you have to utilize the things that you learn in the industry as well, not just in your day-to-day. Because dealing with people is something that you learn in therapy, and how to handle situations, how to respond to situations. And we talked about that in the last episode, like showing up in a way that doesn't show that you need therapy, girl. You need therapy, sis. So I'm so excited that Helodia has joined us.
Yes. So everyone wants 100%.
Yes.
So we're going to go ahead and go on to our last segment.
Yes.
So everyone wants 100 to walk away with 100%. But the reality is the math is never mathing, and 100% may not be realistic. But we do know some ways to get you close as possible. Get your pens out, because we're taking you to school. So tips for any people that may need help mentally, or trying to get their versions of 100% of themselves, or unsure how to start, can you tell us how you're trying to get 100% in your business?
With like my clients,
Yeah.
my staff.
Yeah.
Oh, so the way that I try to get 100% is I check in with my clients, every now and then to see like, well, how we doing, right? Because I could do but so much, but I need to hear from you. And I do the same with the staff, the therapists that are within the practice. It's just like, well, how are you feeling, doing with me supervising you, And then I also make sure that I do my work on the back end, whether it's doing my own therapy. I've done it for mad long, so we chilling, right? We coasting right now,
right?
The next phase, or it's academia, like doing my trainings or going back to school, so that I make sure that I'm on point with my information, so I could pour back into my community. So that's how I'm giving 100%.
And then the community is important for you, right?
Absolutely,
it's all about the community.
It's all about the community.
It's all about the community, and we talked about just being a community of people trying to stick together, teaching each other the things that's needed to navigate this crazy life in this crazy world. And I know that can be a lot. So I know you do therapy as well. And therapists need therapists, right?
I'm sure. I couldn't imagine.
I know. Like, can you, like,
especially
therapists are humans.
I was going to say, what percentage of your clients are African American? Everybody.
I love
and I love
everybody.
it.
I love that.
And I love it. It makes me so happy to know that we are healing. Like, we're taking the steps to be healed, because we have so many of us that are unhealed.
Yeah. And then a lot of us that don't know,
they know.
No.
No, a lot of people
don't know that.
You're right. I'm sorry, y'all. I take that back. You're right. I just had the memory and unlocked.
People don't know people that are very unaware of it.
Yes.
Yes.
Aware of
who they are.
Present themselves, who they are.
Yeah. How they were, being raised and how you brought up.
It becomes their norm. It's almost, like the folks who don't wash their hands after the bathroom. They think it's normal because that's just what they do. And we're looking at them like,
you're wild.
You're not normal, bruh.
So it's almost like it's like a thin line, but like with culture and what is how do you surpass that? Because if you're walking, because my daughter said to me the other day, I watch YouTube shows and all the people walk in their homes with shoes.
Hello.
And that was like,
not this house
and
here.
they're disgusting.
Right.
But that's people's life. So you don't know, like, it's a cultural thing.
Oh my God, I had that eureka moment yesterday. I was talking to my husband and I was like, you cannot sit on the bed with your outside clothes. You cannot bring that jacket from outside inside of the bedroom next to the towel that you dry your skin with. Yeah. And he goes, so I asked his friend, I was like, hey, is that a thing? Like, is that just like a mental thing, like for me? And he was like, well, I don't really practice those. I said, oh Lord, it's a me thing.
No, it's not. It's not a cultural thing.
Oh, all right.
It's a cultural thing.
Then.
Outside clothes, child.
Yeah.
Licks.
So, Helodia, are there any tips that you may have for people who are trying to get to their version of 100% mentally and are unsure of how to start?
Well, they can always come to the deep-seated truth.
Right. Right. I knew that was coming.
Because I landed up that way.
Come to the deep-seated truth and start their process.
Okay.
Right. Yes. Therapists for you.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Take insurance?
Okay. We do some. Not all, sorry.
Okay.
But I'm telling y'all, it's worth the coin.
Yeah, it's worth it. You have to pour into yourself. So like it's part of maintenance, and self-care. And self-care is huge now, more than it was 10 years ago. And for us, I feel like us as a culture of people, we didn't have time for that. Our mothers was doing everything. So self-care, what is, she was picking up the kids from school. She was doing the laundry.
We didn't believe that we were entitled to it.
Right. Yeah. We weren't worthy of
my first time at the spa was with my friend.
She didn't even know what it was, right? She's like, ooh, what's this?
Like, I would see my mom be like, yeah, I'm going to the bathhouse. And I would be like, all right, whatever. Like, I never knew that was like a thing.
Oh my gosh. We need to take breaks. We need to have those moments where we are pouring into ourselves. So that way we are not yelling at
breaking up the monotony.
So what are some of the things?
People cars on fire.
I mean, even if it's not the spa though, like how do you check in with yourself if you don't have those coins to really like spend?
Oh, I think I know the answer.
What's the answer?
Because I said that to my therapist.
Okay.
And she was like, you don't have to make it a big thing. Like, you could just think of the things that make you happy, whether that's be like a candle being lit, reading a book, whatever is like a me time for you to relax you. Am I right?
100%.
Those are the things that you can do in order for you to kind of center yourself and zen yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that comes from capitalism and consumerism, where people feel like it has to be this big lavish thing, but it's really what's your thing. And it could, again, it could be the smallest thing, where even taking a long shower, right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's self-care.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
That's my thing. What's your thing, Helodia?
What is my thing? I have a lot of
You have a
things.
lot?
Yeah, it's
That's
like
good.
going outside, working out.
Okay.
I love that.
Yes,
Yeah.
a lot of times I didn't know, but working out is definitely a mental health. Like
Yeah, it
that,
feels
because
good.
it's like you when you leave the gym, you
Release.
feel like all
That's how I feel when I
Look
leave
into
hot
that.
yoga.
Yes.
Remember when we used to leave? I
Yes.
used to feel like I could take on the world after Bikram. You couldn't tell me nothing after them 90 poses.
Even sitting in silence.
Sitting.
I can't do that.
Oh, I can. I can sit and just,
I can't do that.
Just chill.
Because my mind starts
Yeah, that
to.
was hard
That's
for
good. So listen to
me.
yourself.
What?
Really? It's a lot going on. I don't know. Like, what?
And that's the thing. People don't hear themselves. Hear yourself.
Girl, that's a long conversation.
Right, because there's so many different stories that I got going on in my brain right now. It's so many different lines.
So
like,
how do you calm the noise?
yes.
And like
ashwagandha?
she's so
That could be a thing.
okay.
Yeah, ashwagandha could help.
Okay.
But to calm the noise, I mean, it is a practice,
Yeah,
and
it takes time.
It takes time to get there, but it is that first time when it feels really loud. It's like, okay, listen to it. It's loud. And then the more that you do it and you hear yourself, it's like, okay, well, what do I need to do with this? And what do I need to do with that? And the journey continues.
Ooh,
Okay.
I'm going to try
It's a
that.
journey.
Okay.
You know what? I'm
that.
going to make a video of myself doing that, or I'm going to go live.
But then it's not the same.
No?
How you listening and videoing at the same time?
Well, I'm going to set up my tripod, and that's it.
This is the problem now.
Right, with the last episode, the social media episode, everything don't
Lord.
gotta be on camera.
Thank you. Thank you. Take that moment for you, friend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
that's
I'm
true.
about to go try it in a little bit.
Well, a quiet space. I don't know. I'm gonna have to catch that between the hours of 10 and 2.
Hello, and you asked why I'm up so late.
Yeah.
That's
You could do
my
it while you're
quiet
driving.
time.
Oh no.
Put the radio down and just.
You must not be a driver.
New
Helodia.
York?
I am.
And I am too, and I love
And I-
driving in silence.
Yeah, no, I love the music's gonna be either blasting and I'm having a full party in the
Concert?
car.
Yeah, right.
Or there's no music and I'm just driving. Drive
I've
down the
done that.
Palisades and look at the trees. Music's like,
Yo.
Well, that was the key tip for you guys. Listen to the silence
Yes.
and the voices as well too, and just practice it.
Yes.
Practice it.
And
Not the other voices, but your voice.
Yes.
There's other voices that we
Yeah,
have problems.
I knew that.
Right. I'm like, that's something different. She didn't say that.
Yes,
Yes, yes.
That's
Not
another
me
segment.
paraphrasing. I'm trying to give y'all cliff notes and there's some wrong notes.
Okay, so we're gonna listen to our voices in our heads.
Yes.
Take that moment to take the moment for yourself. Quiet spaces, driving in the home. Get the mat out, lay on the floor, pull out a book, light a candle.
Savasana.
Go to the
Yeah.
park.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like having
Touch the
something with
leaves.
putting my feet in grass.
Touch the leaves.
We
very
here with
common.
city bikes. Planting.
I'm not too happy with city bikes. I ain't even gonna hold you because
Okay,
they
well,
taking up all the parking.
a bicycle.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But
Ride a
just
bike.
Love that.
just figuring out what makes you most happy and trying to do those things more
Mhm.
often.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening.
Well, Helodia, tell the people one more time where
Yes.
they can find you.
Yeah. All your social
You-
media outlets.
Yeah. So we are on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and they are all The Deep Seated Truth. Website is www.thedeepseatedtruth.com.
Okay.
Yay. Thank you guys so much.
Alrighty.
Sending you guys on your healing journey.
Yep.
Yes, we're sending you on your healing way. I love that.